this might be a bit rough. I should have known, I should have seen. That look in your eyes is not letting me in. I can't believe this body's fine. I'm outside. It doesn't make any sense. This was not how I saw the end. But I keep on breathing. Heart is beating. I'm waiting for the eclipse and the consequences of it. Why do we keep falling down? When there's always the victim ground. We got time to make this right. But it's all we keep falling down. Do you remember our first touch? When I look at you now, an adrenaline rush. We're always looking for something more. We're closer to the edge than ever before. I can't believe this body's
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
This is Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are Lido Loca, and it's the Thursday show.
Thursday show.
Thursday, welcome everybody, 2 p.m. Eastern here in North America, and a variety of time zones across the globe.
That's right.
We got an international crowd here, Jenny.
We do.
I've already seen it in the chat. Now, I got to be honest.
Okay. I hope that you always are.
I'm always honest, but I don't know. Like, I feel like we need more on today's show.
Why?
I don't know. Don't you feel like that? Like, it's 2021. Everybody comes here every week. This is our second Thursday show of 2021. Everybody's tuning in. I feel like the people want more.
Well, what more are you talking about? Do you need more? I need more? Or a Loca fam needs more?
I need somebody that's got legit YouTube credentials in the house. Look, we've been...
Am I not enough for you?
You are enough, but we've been piddling away for 4 years here. We got a few subscribers. There's a few people out there that watches, but we need something that has the air of legitimacy. Something I'm talking about.
Of greatness?
I'm talking about Mr. International.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about Mr. 100 Plus Cruiser. I'm talking about Mr. 100,000 subscriber. PewDiePie. Okay, I can't get PewDiePie. I don't know if PewDiePie has ever been on a cruise, or Mr. Beast, but you know who we got?
We got Don.
Don Terrace in the house. What is up, Don? Hello, sir. Welcome,
Hello.
welcome to the Thursday show. It is named that because
It's the Thursday show.
it's Thursday.
It's on Thursday,
It's
Don.
Thursday. Welcome to. I don't know if it's
Thanks.
Thursday in Canada, but it is Thursday here in the United. I don't know how geography works. Let's get that straight.
We're a little
right off
far
the bat.
behind the times in Canada, but we're not that far behind the times.
All right, so we
still
are
the
both. We're both.
Don,
in the
we're
same...
so glad that you're here.
Yes, and congratulations on your big milestone. Congratulations on hitting
Thank
100,000 subscribers. How do you
pretty
feel?
crazy,
How do you
right?
feel about it?
It's very humbling because there's no way when I started this I'd ever think I'd get anywhere close to this. So I am so grateful and so appreciative. It's been a real fun ride. It really has. My whole life has changed, and I have no problem saying that.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations, Don. And you know what? I'm so glad that you went into the YouTube because then we wouldn't know who you are. And I appreciate your friendship.
Yes.
And your content that you put out. You're wonderful, and I love you.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we're lucky because, you know, we became friends and you're super successful. So like, you know, I'm sure we could have had friends that weren't super successful. I mean, I wouldn't hate them, but I do feel like we're extra lucky because not only are you a great friend, but you are very successful. So I feel good about that.
Absolutely.
We know how to pick them, Jenny.
He's greatness.
That's right. That is right. Well,
Okay,
good.
enough gushing. Enough.
No gushing. All right. Well, we will gush later. Look, one of the reasons we wanted to have Don on today, and we'll get this announcement out of the way early, Don will be celebrating his 100,000 subscriber accomplishment milestone with his own live show. It's never happened before. Don has never gone live on his own channel. This will be rectified Saturday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Correct me if I'm wrong. 8 p.m. on Don's family vacation. So it will be a celebration unlike any that have ever been seen on Don's channel. Yeah, I mean, because it's
don't build it up much. No,
it's the first one. So look, there's only like it's gonna be awesome. So Don's live stream. So mark your calendar. Of course, if you're subscribed to his channel, the link is already up there. You can click that link and set a reminder, and then that way a carrier pigeon will show up at your house before the live show. I'm pretty sure that's what a YouTube reminder does. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert.
I think it's a ding.
Oh, it's just a notification on your phone?
Yeah.
No carrier pigeon?
Nah.
Well, don't you know everything?
Well, I mean, you know, the internet is a wonderful thing.
All right. Let's talk.
I Googled it.
Let's talk cruising. Now that I have Don, now I haven't normally, you know, Don and I talk. We talk about the news of the day. One topic we have not broached yet or breached yet. First, Don, what's your video about at 3:00 so I can figure out if I'm you're going to talk
Same as you, buddy. Same as yours today.
Good. Okay, that's fine. We've talked about that. Let's talk about this. Royal Caribbean announces that they are going to use Barbados as a cruise port at the end of 2021. Now, during this whole time, there's been a lot of questions like, well, if the U.S. isn't going to accommodate the cruise ships, why don't they just go out of somewhere else? Now, there's all kinds of answers to that question. You know, infrastructure is one thing, but it does seem like, do you think that this is what that is? Do you think Royal Caribbean is going, all right, we're having trouble in the U.S., let's go to Barbados? Or do you think that may be something they had cooking in the books before this craziness?
They have had this cooking in the books for quite a while. They mentioned it to me on one of my cruise seminars that I went on before. One of the reasons we don't they don't like to sail from other places, if you know, is the cost to fly to that country and then fly home sometimes can double your cruise than just flying to Florida. So they don't think that enough people would join on to do it. So it's been in the works, this one.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. And then there's only so many people you can get down there for one cruise ship too. Like, it's not going to change. You know, if all of a sudden they put a cruise port in Mexico and a cruise port in Nassau, Bahamas, you're still not going to be able to get the capacity of people on a cruise ship that you would out of Miami. I mean, I just don't think logistically it would take years to have that kind of infrastructure to match what you can put on a cruise ship in Miami and Canaveral.
Right.
I would
think. Yeah. It's not even close. Miami is the capital of cruising in the world. Miami, Fort Lauderdale area by far. So Asia's starting to catch up a little bit, but they kind of only like the flashy ships.
Right.
They want all the bells and whistles. They don't like the traditional cruising as much. So anytime they put the traditional cruises down there, they've had a hard time selling them.
Yeah, that makes sense. You mentioned Asia, and it made me think. What do you think about what's going on in Singapore? Are you enough of a cruise fan, which I think you are? Would you just love to go on a cruise to nowhere like the Singaporeans are doing, or does it seem like you're getting cheated a little bit just doing a cruise to nowhere?
Well, if you miss cruising and you want to do a cruise to nowhere on a ship like they're doing. Remember, those are quantum class type ships, so lots to do. We had a ton of fun on ours. We could have spent a ton of time on the Spectrum.
Yes.
It's kind of like going to Disney right now, right? Not everything is up and running at Disney. It's not the same experience, but if you miss Disney, you're going to go.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, you know, everything that I've read coming out of Singapore are the people that were able to go on those cruises. They're like, it's awesome. We've escaped life for a little bit. Not the
Yeah.
same experience, but it's awesome. So what's up, Jenny?
Nothing.
We got Dawn here.
I know. I'm just listening to the two experts right here.
That's very kind, high praise. But Jenny, you're an expert in your own right. You are, look, you've cruised with both of us. You know how cool that is.
I'm very lucky.
A big shout out to everybody that is in the house tonight. We got the Blue Crew keeping it on lockdown. If you get out of line, look, I had to kick somebody. I didn't kick somebody out. I had to delete a comment earlier while I was waiting for the Blue Crew. Ian O'Reilly from Ireland in the house, and Ellen Huffnell from Pennsylvania. That's a state in the United States in the house. So if you get out of line and for some reason you get kicked out of the chat, it's on them. It's not us. We're very passive. So.
No, that's not true.
But we support them 100%.
That's right.
100%.
Ian said that he has cruised out of Barbados, and I believe Ian is in Ireland.
Yeah.
Is it in Ireland?
Yeah. So Jenny, what's on the list of topics to talk about today? I'm done. Like, this is all I have. How many minutes are we in? 9 minutes? Oh man, it's gonna be a long hour, I think.
Well, I got one for you guys.
Okay, hit us up.
Don.
Don's got questions. All right, go ahead.
What's your next cruise that you still have on the books?
I don't even know.
Alaska.
We have Alaska on Norwegian in June, but we've seen other people that have had Alaska group cruises move their cruise, so we're thinking about doing the same thing. Alaska in October is the only thing. We have Alaska, and then we have the Mardi Gras in October. Those are the only two cruises.
Well, we have a celebrity booked
In between that?
in November.
Okay, yeah. So we don't have much. I mean, I don't know what your stance on booking cruises in 2021, but I'm kind of resigned to. I'm not booking anything until they cruise again. I mean, we're booking future cruises like 22, 23, but I'm not doing any of this 2021 stuff until it happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I had a total of 16 cruises canceled altogether since the pandemic started. And now I've resigned to, I booked my 2022 group cruises, going to sit there. And once I start seeing ships roll out, then I'll start to book where we're going to go. But right now, I mean, the brand new Discovery was supposed to come out at the end of this year. Now they're saying, no, it's not coming out this year. It's going to come out sometime next year. Well, I almost booked my group cruise to Alaska on the Discovery, and it might not even be here yet. So I'm glad I didn't, right? So you just kind of have to play everything by ear, unfortunately. I have people calling me. I don't know, Jenny, how about you? Do you have people calling? Hey, yeah, I want to book a cruise in April.
I know.
And I'm going,
I know.
There's nothing sailing, guys. It's a real risk right now. Just book it. Okay. And then I book it. I've had this happen. I'll book it for them. And then they call me back and say, okay, cancel it. And I want my money back. I say, okay, call up the cruise line. And they call me about a week later and they say, where's my money? I said, well, you got 90 days to wait for your money to come back. That's why I said, don't book yet. So yeah, it's not a great time. It's, and as we talked about the CDC, I think you've been pretty easy on the CDC and people say I'm pretty hard on the CDC.
Yeah, that's right. We're the counterbalance.
And I've always said the CDC is doing what they're supposed to do. They're doctors and scientists, and they look after health. They're not business people. They're not anything else. So they look at that, right? We need other people to look at both sides and come up with the best alternative. But it is looking more and more like the roadblocks are strictly on the CDC's part now, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to have more information on that, right? So all we really have, and I'm excited to watch your video here in a little bit, but all we really have is that little dialogue in the earnings report, and then the guy questioning Arnold Donald, and his answer is kind of, I mean, at one point he does say the CDC is holding him up, but at which point, like, I struggle with the fact that the CDC has this framework and they don't have the right requirements in it. That just seems like in such bad faith. Now, it could be like that, but in any organization, like if you're going to put yourself out there and say these are the requirements, then they do that in good faith. Now, it could turn out, I just don't think we know the whole story. I'm happy to be mad at anybody, but that story shocked me to no end. Like how, but I don't hear anybody else saying it either. Like, you know, Royal's got a lot of ships in the mix, and you know they're pretty quiet about it.
Right.
I don't know where they're at in the test system, but I don't hear anything going on.
You want to see a sign? You want to see a sign?
I want to see
Royal canceled March and April. Not just March.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, here's the thing.
So
like,
it doesn't look like they're getting cooperation.
They canceled 2 months of guest cruises. So what does that mean that May is open for guest cruising? I don't know. Like, I don't know if that means they feel like over the next couple months they will be able to get it done or not. But I don't know. Another Blue Crew here, Sarah Phillips, what's up? And then real quickly, there's also another guest that just debuted on the channel on Tuesday night. We actually named him there. His name is Locasaurus Rex. And we have a super chat from Smoky Traveler calling out the prehistoric Locasaurus Rex. Let's get Locasaurus Rex going. Glad to Jenny and Tony and Don. Thanks for all that you guys do.
Thank you, guys.
Smoky Traveler, thank you for the super chat. And Locasaurus, take it away. Do you have tricks? Let's do it. Or not. Wow, that was a little anticlimactic.
There we go.
Now we're gonna do it with sound one more time. Man, he was rusty already. He just started. All right, here we go. Super chat. Oh, nailed the landing.
I tell you, Locasaurus is kind of, you know.
I love that one. I'm doing it one more time. Super chat. Boom. There we go.
I was going to say he's slacking a little bit, but now you're making him do it twice.
Smoky Traveler, thank you for the super chat. Now, what I understand for your live show, Don, is one of your nephews is going to dress up like something and do super chat, you know.
Oh, I wish. You know the trouble? We had it all set up now to have both my nephews here and my son here, all on different computers. Believe it or not, I have enough computers for that. And one was going to help me with the chat. As far as putting like comments up and picking out questions that people are asking. The other guys are going to be monitors. We have you can't go out of your house order.
Ugh.
Oh, no.
Stay at home order.
That's frustrating.
$5,000 fine if you leave your house without a good cause. And unfortunately, YouTube is not a good cause. So now we're trying to rework everything. It's
I mean, it's essential. It's work.
Yeah, they don't count us as work.
Well, the interesting thing, so that is an interesting side conversation. Like in Los Angeles, in California, entertainers are considered essential workers. And so they're high up in the list, like, you know, movie people and that kind of, I mean, I know we're not, you know, making cinema here, but still it's interesting that entertainers have that distinction there. But yeah, I don't think we have it here in Florida.
That's because they're very big donators to the political parties.
That's right. They got the money.
The entertainment industry, movie industry. Yeah.
Question from Ann Lee. Don, how many cruises have you been on?
I'm stuck at 106. 106?
106.
Yes, 106.
Yeah, see, we knew Don.
I should have been around 115 by now.
Wow. We knew Don before he was all the 100s.
That's right.
We knew him before he was 100 cruises. And
you were my 101, Tony.
101, that's right. Alfie Donnelly asked this question. Do you think the vaccine will be a requirement to cruise? That's the hot question, right?
It is a hot question for sure. My personal opinion, and there's no policies out there, and Don, you chime in. I just don't think so.
Yeah, you don't think the cruise lines for customers?
Right.
Right.
I think maybe, and this has been, you know, I think that these big companies, you know, like the Disneys, the cruise lines, I think that they're going to do the vaccines for their employees.
Right. That's another question we have out there from Paul Jarvis. What do you think, Don? Do you think employees will be required, guests required, both? Or do you think the cruise lines will go a different way?
I think it could go a couple ways. I think employees are definitely going to be given the vaccine. That's a whole other issue because they're from all different countries. And will they be able to get it in the United States? Yes or no? We don't know. As far as guests are concerned, if the vaccine becomes really widely accessible, I think they may they may say, yes, you have to have the vaccine if they don't have to test people anymore if you have a vaccine. So they could save all that cost of the testing that they have to currently do and will have to do when they start. Because if you think you get 3,000 people on every cruise, you got to pay for every single test for people or charge people. If you just say, bring your vaccine little certificate, they may let you on. And that might be just it all depends. I don't think we're going to hear nothing until February 1st, once the change of power goes out. And we see exactly what they're going to do as far as their own COVID task force is concerned and how much extra power they give the CDC now. Because remember, the current government kind of pushed the CDC aside and said, we're going to do our own thing. And the new government is saying, we're just going to listen to the CDC no matter what they say. So I don't know. Everybody's just, we don't know because no one's saying anything yet.
Yeah, I agree. The interesting thing for me, and I think of it in a couple ways, if the cruise line mandates a vaccine for guests, there will be some guests that can't get vaccinated. So I don't know if they'll have an exemption policy. I do think it's an interesting play, and I've speculated that a couple times. If you can wait until you require a vaccine, then maybe you don't have to do the healthy sail bubble. You don't have to do tests and masks and social distancing, right? Because everything should be good. So I could see the cruise lines waiting for that to be true. I don't know if they can require it, but somebody's brought up, or I've seen this a few times in the community, where it could be possible that countries require a vaccine,
Right.
and that may be the catalyst that makes the cruise lines do something or not do something. Like, if all of a sudden you want to go to the Bahamas and you have to have a vaccine passport, then that could change the whole dynamic of it also. So there's another interesting question up here. Do travel agents get paid when all these cruises get canceled? To answer the question simply, traditionally, we don't get paid until after the cruises go. Some cruise lines protect commission, depending if people have paid their cruise off. Some don't. The bottom line for Don, I'll speak for Don, the bottom line for us is we've made significantly less money than we would have if cruising would have gone forward from a travel perspective. It's a lot of work has been done for free, essentially. And that's part of the gig. We knew it in the beginning. Before the pandemic, you knew if somebody's cruise canceled or if the cruise line put a ship in dry dock or something like that, that you would just lose the money for the work that you did. But, that's part of the risk. That's the life we chose. And we're just doing the best that we can. And so, but the cool thing in the way that we talk about it here is we have probably got more experience on how the cruise business works during this time than any other time. So experience with cancellations, experience with rebooking, experience with the way the cruise lines communicate, experience with what the cruise lines do when they reduce staff. So if you try to silver lining it, which we do, then we learned a lot for free. We learned a lot for free. But I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Don. A lot of people have that question, but yeah, it's not a great time for travel agents as far as, making money.
No.
For the work that they're doing.
It is also funny because people go, oh, why are the cruise lines still taking bookings when they don't know if they can cruise or not, right? Well, it's money in, money out, right? They're just looking to keep some income going. But as travel agents, we don't see any of that money in our commissions until they actually sail and get going. So even though the cruise lines are going month by month by month and giving money back and taking money back, all those travel agents out there who are just starting up or have big corporations that they have to pay like 50 people, they haven't made a dime during all this time. And that, I've seen a lot of travel agencies here in Ottawa, they're gone. They're just gone. Mm-hmm. I get calls all the time asking if I can hire them. And I say, me and my niece. That's all I am. Right. So,
especially brick and mortar. Yeah. Brick and mortar with actual, overhead infrastructure. Yeah, I don't see how they could do it. A couple more super chats coming in. Eleanor R. Scott, thank you so much for the super chat. Your show is awesome. Thanks for the update. I finally caved in and registered for the vaccine. Awesome. Hopefully you get it soon. Life Journeys with Tammy 2.0. Congrats, Don. Happy Thursday, Tony, Jenny, and Don. Need some Locasaurus. Oh, Locasaurus Rex, where art thou? Here we go. Let's get that thing in the raft.
Super chat.
Boom, 10 points.
Thank you very much.
The king. The king. Man, we had an interesting conversation on Tuesday.
Did you lose your wrestler one that you
yeah, I
used to
did.
do?
I did. Like lose is a relative term. I edit on one computer, and so there's a library somewhere. Whatever month I created Larry, he is in that library, and I just need to export him. I moved a file over to my streaming PC, and when I went to clean it up, I lost Larry. So I want to do more with Larry. So Larry's actually on vacation. He's actually trying to find a wife.
He's waiting for the cruises.
That's the story. He's waiting for the cruises to return. Let's see. Will the vaccine be required to fly in 2021? I have not kept up with what's going on with the airline. I know there's some new rules in the U.S. coming, though. What were you telling me, Jenny? That you have to have a test at least.
It's the same as the Canadian laws with the negative testing.
72 hours?
Was it 3 days, right, Don? Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take I had 2 people in Mexico over the holidays, and one was okay. She didn't have to get back in a hurry, but the other one had to get back in a hurry, and she was panicked because they didn't know this before they left, right? This came out last week. So yeah, it's 72 hours. It can't be a quick test. It has to be the regular one. And, depending on where you are, that can take 7-8 days sometimes. And you pay for it. In Mexico, by the way, it was $400.
Wow. And that was
one person.
And you have to have that 72 hours before you fly in?
Yeah. So they couldn't even book their flights home until they were sure they were going to get their test.
That's wild. Cruise news is in the house. Qantas is going to require proof of vaccine for international flights. They announced. I remember them talking about that. That's interesting. Somebody else.
Retro's in the house.
That's what I was going to say. My brother, Retro Sarge. What's up, Christopher? The question is, so Don is a collector of the arcade one-up of video games. My brother is also. I asked Don the other day if he was going to get the new pinball machine. He says maybe not, but the question is, will Retro Sarge get the pinball machine? Just you can let us know, bro. Larry's not gone forever, so I do appreciate the moment of silence, but he will be back.
Yes. And it's actually that's CDC law also now for the US.
Yeah.
With the testing.
This is an interesting conversation. Now, we don't have to talk a lot about YouTube if you guys don't want, but somebody's asking, have we gotten more or less YouTube views? I would just say it's interesting if you think about the last year, Don, more or less YouTube views during the shutdown than prior to the shutdown.
Well, it started roughly in February, March for us.
Yes.
I had my biggest months ever in February and March. And then with no ships sailing and nothing else going on, and there is no more news really, right. They just dropped right off. I'm still, still grew and things are still going. I'm still getting views, but the growth pattern, it just went like it kind of flatlined.
Yeah. So my best month view wise, and I know you've had over 1 million views in 1 month before, probably not in the last year, or maybe you have. My best month ever
I average 750 is my low and 1.5 million is my high.
Yeah, so my best month ever,
Beautiful.
930,000 views. That was when we came back that was November of last year. And then I'm averaging around 650,000 views a month pretty consistently. But yeah, we had a really great January, February, March, and then April dropped off like a ton of bricks. And then the interesting thing too is when the world went sideways, YouTube, they quit charging like a high amount of money for their ads. So the interesting thing is there were months where I had the same amount of views that I had previously, but we got paid about half as much. So it's been an interesting ride. Again, I feel super blessed, right? We're sitting here still doing what we love, still connecting with people, still keeping people entertained and informed in the middle of a crisis. And I can't think of another place I would rather have been during this crisis than doing what I'm doing. So all those things are true. Lost money as travel agents. We didn't make as much money at YouTube. But we're fine, and we're looking forward to brighter days. So, but I do appreciate everybody that gets concerned about that kind of thing. But we are doing well.
Yes, thank you.
We're hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys have biscuits in Canada?
We do.
People? Yeah, I know you do. I'm just kidding. All right. What other questions do we have out there? Other questions?
Susan White wants to know if Don and I do other types of booking besides cruises. I know that we can do land and any kind of travel. Don, you the same?
I do. I'm not an expert in land vacations by no means.
Right.
I know cruising inside and out, but to me, a Mexican resort is a Mexican resort. What's the difference between the Hard Rock Cafe and the Grand? I don't know. I've been there, but I'm usually just sitting on the beach in those kind of vacations, right? But I do them. But if you ask me about Disney, pretty good. If you ask me about anything else, I can find out.
That's right. That's right.
And that's been the same for you. You've had a lot of learning experiences when you're trying to, like I would say your expertise is in cruise.
Absolutely.
And then as people are needing land, you're learning more and more.
Right.
That's what I think. Frank, thank you so much for the super chat. Frank 1503 2000. Thank you for the super chat. My next cruise is Carnival, the Celebration Cruise, 3/22/22. Do you think cruises will be back by then? Do you think masks will still be required by March of 2022? Thank you, and hit the like button. All right, I'm hitting the like button. And now, let me give you a little Locasaurus Rex.
Super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And before you go into that answer, thank you, Frank. How cool are those digits? 3/22/22.
Yes, we're all about the 22s. Don, look in the crystal ball. Will we be sailing by 3/22/22? Just sailing in any capacity.
Better be.
Yes.
I don't know if we're going to be sailing at capacity yet. Predictions are about 50% of the fleet by the end of the year and not at full capacity. So we'll see what happens. It all depends on when we finally get out.
Exactly.
If they come in next month and say, you know what, because of the way everything's spreading right now, we're going to have to put a hold on cruises for now, and we'll get back to you when you can apply for your test cruises. Oh my God, like we just went through 4 months of getting ready for test cruises. This is the answer. Here we go. And then they do that. That would be devastating to the cruise industry. Yeah. And, it's a sad situation. It really is.
There's some interesting ideas there. So we had that story that came out of Cayman this week, out of the Cayman Islands, where the premier, his quote was very plain. He just said, cruises, who cares about cruises? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said is like, I understand you're excited about cruises, but they don't really rise that high on our list. We're just trying to keep people on the island safe. So it could happen. I mean, like what you just said could happen where all of a sudden it's like, hey, they're saying, what about the cruise? And this very small segment of the travel population, they're saying, what about cruises? And they're like, look, man, we got a bigger fish to fry than cruises. So that would be disappointing for sure. And then the second part of that question is, do you think we'll still be under the same health protocols in March? And here's what I want to say. Those protocols are in place until November of 2021 under the framework for conditional sailing. But I don't know. Like I still think that people will have to mask up in 2022. That's my gut feeling. It depends how widespread. I've heard a couple different numbers on the vaccination. Like everybody will be able to be vaccinated by the third quarter. I've heard other people saying it's not going that well. It's going to be into 2022. My opinion, if a large part of the population is not vaccinated, then they'll still be masking up. Maybe if the cruise ships require vaccines, they can do away with the masking protocol. What do you think, Don?
I feel the exact same way. Yeah. I think masks and the protocols are here till the end of the year, at least, uh, unless those vaccines roll out. And you know what? You guys are doing much better than we are here in Canada rolling it out. You guys
Oh,
are in
really?
at least in the like 3% of
Yeah.
every 100 people or something like that. We're at 0.1%
Mm.
Wow.
here in Canada.
Wow.
So, but they keep saying, I think it was April, May, and June, we're supposed to get 15 million doses altogether. And we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see when
that's
that comes. You know, they keep changing things too. Who's going to get it? Who's in next in line? And all. The one that they announced 2 weeks ago has changed this week. Now they've changed it around again. So people are all confused. All we know is that we're getting very minimal news on who's actually getting the vaccine right now. And now they're talking that you get your first dose, and you know what? We're going to give your second dose to somebody else until we get another dose in and give it to you, because this way we can protect more people. But it's not fully effective until you get your second dose. And who knows what happens if you wait too long to get your second dose, right? It's
yeah.
just, it's so much up in the air, and everyone's relying on it, and everyone's in lockdown. So if we're not going to get vaccinated till June, July, August, are we going to stay in lockdown till June, July, August? I don't think so.
It's really kind of crazy. So like, and then the other thing that I try to do is put it in perspective. If we were doing this live show on January the 14th, 2020, we would have been talking about our next cruise. So
Yep.
the world has drastically changed rapidly within a year. And I hold out the hope that that doesn't only happen for negative circumstances, right? Sometimes we fixate on that. So everything went to pot in a year, but maybe everything could go good again just as rapidly. Like there's nothing in the universe that says only bad things can happen quickly. So part of me goes, man, hopefully something happens that, you know, that we don't anticipate, that we don't understand, but maybe something that happened that triggered such a negative event, maybe something happens that could trigger a positive event. That if we think about polio, for example, that was a disease that devastated people for many years, and then all of a sudden the vaccine came and the world changed rapidly. So, you know, again, maybe I'm too pie in the sky on that, but I don't believe that that it's only bad things can happen quickly, and so hopefully something will turn bright on us and good things will happen quickly too. I don't know. I'm just holding out for that.
Lance said that they haven't started the vaccinations yet in Oz.
Not even yet in there. Wow.
Yeah.
A couple other YouTube questions. Yeah. So when we're talking about views, if you watch the ads, that's how we get paid. So, you know, obviously you have the ability to skip the ads, stuff like that. We're not advocating that people have to watch the ads, but that's the transaction that happens. YouTube is a business. They're an advertising selling company. That's all they care about. They got people that want to run ads, and when people see those ads, they're happy. They're happy with us. They pay us for that. And then how do we become YouTubers? I think, Don, we're both very similar. We learn it by doing it. Iterative learning. You know, you study a lot and then you put it to practice. You don't say maybe someday I'll make a video. You just make a video, you put it up, and then if what you don't like about it, you try to change it with the next video. So just doing it is still my YouTube advice. Just do it.
Yeah, you know what? On my other channel, I happened to mention that exact topic today because somebody asked. I had like 7 people ask me how to become a YouTuber, and my advice is you just got to do it.
Yeah.
I knew nothing when I started, right? And if you don't do it and you keep putting it off, you'll never do it. Just do it. Every time you do a video, you get better and better and better. And don't be fake. Be yourself. Don't be one of those people out there licking ice cream and putting it back in the shops and stuff like that, looking for that viral video, right?
Exactly.
Oh, those people are like, I just cringe every time I see it. And God forbid I'd be beside somebody doing that because they never get out of the store. Remember my saying, don't touch my food.
Don't touch the food. Let's see. Cruppy's Pastry. Cruppy's Pastry. What's the difference between a great cruise and a fantastic cruise? God, Don,
I'm there.
Oh, there you go. Yes, it's fantastic if Don is there. Absolutely. To me, I always say that cruising's like pizza. When it's good, it's really good, and when it's bad, well, it's still pretty good.
It's agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember my last really bad cruise. Like there's always been something good. I roll with those punches, right? So something goes wrong, I don't let it bother me. We had a typhoon in Japan. Did it bother us? No.
You were
we
the most.
we
Let me
laughed
just
at it, right?
let me just tell on Don a little bit.
Uh-oh.
There were people all over that cruise ship worried for their lives. When I think it was unjustified, right? Because the captain had everything under control. Don was giddy like a little kid. He's like, "Do you really think we're going to be in a typhoon? Do you think we can film the typhoon? I hate that we're in a typhoon at night. Why can't we go out on our balcony? Could you imagine if we could film the typhoon?" Yeah. Now look, I was in between. I just wanted to lay on the bed and slow the. Yeah, we were on a huge cruise ship, and you could hear the metal straining. Like that, like normally on a cruise ship, you don't hear the metal parts of the ship. No matter where you were at, it sounded like the rivets were going to come loose during some of that typhoon. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Like I'm glad we had the experience. I mean, it's a great story. Like we outran a typhoon in Asia. It was almost like a dragon was in the water. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing.
Well, and you guys lived it, but I lived it over here watching what you two were going through.
Oh, you didn't care.
Okay.
You weren't worried.
You're right.
I'd have been right up at the front of the ship if they'd have let me going, "I'm the king of the world."
It was pretty funny. Like I didn't realize how upset the other passengers were until they had that question and answer with the captain. And there were people like, "Hey man, that was a typhoon. How dare you take us out in it?" And the guy was like, "Look, I do what I got to do. We've been sailing for all these years." It was pretty interesting. Yeah, Flex Tape would have got it.
A lot of people don't realize hurricanes and typhoons don't travel as fast as a cruise ship. Right. They're slower than cruise ships. So this cruise ship can outrun it. And I just can't head into it.
I don't know. Like I think I may have exaggerated the story along the way. Was it a level 2 or a level 3 that we were in?
It was a 3 when we headed out of port.
Yeah, I think the captain said the ship can withstand a 4 to 5, something like can withstand a lot. So, yeah, we were It was fun.
Well, he wanted to test it.
Yeah, he did want to test it.
Kind of like YouTube. He just had to do it to get that practice.
Yes. Jana Leaks says, "Don, other than Princess, what is your favorite cruise line?"
Oof. Okay. Right now, Princess. Just because I like the designs. I also love Royal Caribbean. Their entertainment is top notch, right, on those ships, and there's tons of things to do. So yeah, I would probably put Royal Caribbean right up there, and then some of the ultra high class, Silver Seas and stuff like that are great cruise ships as well.
Have you cruised any of those luxury lines? Have you ever been on one where there's only like
7
200-300
Seas
passengers?
I've been on. Yeah, 7 Seas I've been on. I've been on the small Viking ships. They do a great job. You just have to be used to the small ship. If you think going through a typhoon on the Spectrum of the Sea, can you imagine on one of the ones that could park itself in the front row of the Spectrum of the Sea? That's how small those ships are sometimes. But you feel the water a lot more on those ships.
Absolutely. Maggie R., thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the creativity and being out here on the Thursday show.
Thank you, Maggie.
Super chat. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so to build on that, Don, our very first cruise was on the Carnival Fantasy, which is bigger than what you were talking about, but still pretty small. And we didn't really know which room to pick, so we picked our cabin. It was at the front of the ship. It felt like we were breaking waves, right? So the first time we went to sleep, it's like, what noise is that? We realized it was actually the cruise cutting through the waves. And it was pretty cool. And then all of that reminds me of the images we see coming from the shipbreaking yards of all these older ships being scrapped. Do you get any what kind of feeling do you get from that? Like, I know intellectually it's good that the old ships go. It's good that the new ships with better technology and more capacity comes. But I look at those broken down ships, especially the first one that I was on, and I feel sad.
Oh, absolutely. But we Go ahead, Don.
Go ahead, Jenny. No, you first.
No, I was just gonna say we had seen the Fantasy last year, October, in Cozumel,
Yeah.
and she was ready to be late.
She looked pretty rough, really rusted out and stuff like that anyway, so it made sense. But
Yeah, it was sad though.
how does it hit you when you see those scrapyard pictures, though?
It's kind of the same way, but I don't like to see ships fall into disrepair.
Right.
You know, it's even sadder that they're neglected or go to a fourth rung cruise line that will just sort of pile people on and let it rot until it goes. I kind of like what Holland America's done there now that, you know, they'll put in a ship to retire it and they'll rename it
Yeah.
with one of the
What
new
is it,
ships. I would kind of like them to do that, right?
The Rotterdam, right?
And
That's
why
the one
has
that keeps
Princess not called the boat the Love Boat yet? How
Exactly.
can they
should.
not possibly?
That would be
ever
great
call it the Love
marketing. They would get a ton of people. The Love Boat. The Love Boat. Ooh, Lou Mello talking about Viking Ocean. This is one of the cruise lines I would definitely like to try. The Viking Ocean, 930 passengers, and then Viking just released an expedition cruise ship.
Yeah.
Look, I've got a short bucket list of things I want to do, but expedition cruising definitely one of those things. I know that's on your bucket list, Don. When you think of expedition cruising, are you thinking? What were you thinking? I know like popular is the Galapagos, Iceland, Antarctica, the Arctic. Out of those, or another one I didn't mention, where would you like to go with the expedition cruise?
Antarctica for sure is one I'd like to do on the smaller ships.
Yeah.
I think a month after the pandemic canceled all the cruises, I had a 38-day cruise sailing out of LA to Hawaii to Tahiti to Bora Bora, all those places, and that would have been a great cruise. It was I was so looking forward to that on the Island Princess at the time, and so I got to make up for lost time. But you know, I've been to the Galapagos, but Antarctica, I really want to do an expedition, not just a big cruise ship sailing by. I want to be on the small ship, get off, and do some good exploring. So
Somebody asked earlier how many cruises we've been on. So Jenny and I started cruising late. We raised the whole family. We had 6 kids. We got them out of the house. We don't talk to them anymore. We like that.
Not true.
Okay, we do have to talk to them, but we really discourage them from talking to us. But yeah, so we started cruising in 2017, and man, we really started hitting it hard. I did 13 cruises in 2 years. Jenny did 12 because she wouldn't come to China with us, but yeah, so we compressed a lot, and man, we had a ton scheduled for this year. We're completely bought into that cruise life, and this is painful. Like, this is painful to get the travel bug and then not be able to go anywhere. Like, that's probably been the most depressing thing. You find the thing that you really love, and then they take it away from you. Now, you keep it in the context of all the challenges that people are having in the world. It's, we've been fortunate with the virus. We've had members of our family that have had the virus, but fortunately we haven't lost anybody to the virus. And man, our hearts and our sympathies go out there to people who have. And so again, at the end of this year and going forward, we find ourselves very blessed, very lucky. But yeah, there's some pain points. And one of those pain points is just not being able to travel after we got the travel bug. And, and one of the pain points is we work together in this house every day, and we have to work instead of just look at each other's loving. Oh, man, look at that look. That came out wrong, okay? It came out wrong, all right?
I don't know.
That's a positive.
I think I heard it properly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Don, I think I stepped in it here.
yeah. I'm long past those. There's nobody here for me to get in trouble with.
What do you think? So somebody just mentioned the muster drill. That's kind of exciting that the traditional stack 'em and stuff them on one of the decks might be going away. Any other technology or any changes coming that you're excited about?
Well, you all know Princess has like the medallion that you can open your door. It's like your Disney band, right? Magic bands. They're putting it on all their ships now. Royal Caribbean has a version. MSC now has a version. Celebrity's getting the version. And you're just going to see that everywhere now because that's what they're using to track people who come down with the virus for tracing, right?
Contract
So you're
tracing,
going to
yeah.
see a lot of that technology coming through. And a lot of people are going, I don't like the fact that that's on my wrist and they know where I am on the ship. Or, I have to put my information on this. Well, it's the same as your cabin card or your hotel
Yeah.
card at Disney World. It's the exact same thing. It's on there anyway. The only thing is, I was on a cruise, on a princess cruise, and somebody couldn't find their daughter, their 16-year-old daughter.
Mm.
Well, they went to the front desk, they looked it up on the computer and said, she's over there. And there she was. Boom. So that can really come in handy when people are looking for their kids or anything like that. Now, could you also imagine that if that's on your wrist and it sets off an alarm on the bridge if you fall overboard?
Right. It seems
Technology like that. There's
Yeah.
so much could help.
It seems like that's definitely something they should tackle, with these enhancements. That was a long debate. That was something that we talked about before this pandemic. Why isn't there any kind of, falling off the ship detection?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people explain it away that it happens so infrequently. Why would you spend the amount of money on it? But man, that would be the worst, to actually fall overboard and nobody know it. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Cruppy's Pastries asking, longtime cruiser, recently divorced. What do you suggest for a new solo cruiser? Who do you like for Don? You cruise solo a lot of the time. What do you like? Which lines do you like for solo cruisers? Now, you normally get a regular cabin. Have you done much solo cabins? And do you recommend
I used to. I used to do the solo cabins. The good thing is now cruise lines like Royal Caribbean are coming out with solo balconies on their newer ships. So that's a good option. And any place you can get a good deal on second passenger, that's a good deal because you're not paying full price. But let's be honest, those advertisements for book now, get 60% off second guest, they're there all the time.
Yeah.
That's not a sale. That's their regular price that they're putting out there in a lot of cases. So I kind of chuckle at that. But for me, it's always been, I know I'm paying double, so I look for my deals. But I'm going for the itinerary first, and then I'll look for the cruise line after. So if I want to do, Atlantic Canada, okay, well, I got Norwegian Princess and I got Carnival. Which ship do I want now? That's how I divide it. And I don't need, if I'm by myself, I don't need the skydiving and all that stuff. So I tend to go with anything with good shows and good food. And I'm a happy camper.
And I'm going to add a little something to that, Don. I do talk to a lot of solo travelers like you, I am sure. And a lot of the females feel very comfortable jumping on group cruises with anybody, right? Because then they are able to do what they want with the group, but someone's always looking out for them, like, hey, where's so-and-so and that kind of thing. So that's also a good option for solo people as well.
Yeah, if you're part of any of these big communities, I mean, obviously you got to keep stranger danger in mind, make a good connection with somebody, but we do see that a lot, even in like our cruising community. People are saying, oh, I want to go on this cruise, but does anybody else want to go? And we know people that have made friends. It's a good advertisement for group cruises. Of course, Don's got 2 group cruises coming up next year, Panama Canal, Alaska. We've always got a couple group cruises in the mix. We've got a Halloween group cruise every year. And we've had people that come on those cruises and meet people and then become cruising friends. So we've seen solo travelers now have friends. So, if you're a solo traveler, getting connected to a group cruise, like a Facebook group or anything like this, it's a good way to make that connection. And most of the cruise lines have events for singles, like single mixers, those kind of things. So very quickly you can get on a cruise ship and meet people. And then the solo balconies that we had on the Spectrum of the Seas, Don, those were awesome. I'd seen some of the NCL solo interiors. Those looked very small. Like, I don't know that I would have been very comfortable in those, but what we had on the Spectrum of the Seas was really nice. Like, that was really nice. Yeah.
And I almost think the cabin
NCL is small.
Yeah. I think the cabin that we had on MSC was a solo balcony.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Bivy B, going forward, will ships ever sail to their capacity again? Yes. I do believe so. Like I don't. I can't imagine that once everything gets back to normal, that the cruise ships will not resume their business model of building big ships and filling them up and making money so that we can all go on new ships. So, the new ships, Don. What ship are you excited about in 2022 or 2021 or whenever?
The Odyssey looks pretty nice. Looking forward to that. I can't wait to see what the Discovery Princess looks like when it comes out, because the sky was gorgeous when I was on her. The new stage shows they put on that ship were amazing. So they're trying to step up and compete with Royal with their stage shows. So I would put that Sky Princess shows along the same line as the Spectrum of the Seas shows that we saw. Because they're not quite Oasis entertainment yet, but they're pretty darn good. But there's so many ships. They're like, even the Mardi Gras has me intrigued, right? I'd like to get on that.
one.
I mean, a 40-mile-an-hour roller coaster.
That's gonna be crazy.
I keep picturing myself going.
Yeah, I'm very excited the carnival went that way, because it looked like to me, as we tracked along with this ship since it was announced, is they really looked at what was great with other cruise lines, right? We love the Oasis because of the the different theming and the different neighborhoods, and so now you have a zoned approach by the Mardi Gras. I like the fact that they've got partnerships with people like Emerald Lagasse, people like Shaq, right? Those are two sides of the spectrum. Of course, the Guy Fieri connection. So it's neat that they've got those kind of connections, and of course the roller coaster is brand new. I tell you, I think we're all three Dark Horse MSC fans. Like I don't think any of us would turn down an MSC cruise, and they've got of course the Seashore coming out, which I think the Seaside is one of the coolest looking ships that I've ever been on from just like a ship perspective, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Seashore is like.
And their entertainment is fantastic.
I do like their entertainment over there. I do. Let's see if there's any other questions in there. Yeah, more questions about YouTube. Yeah, the way it works, if you pay to not get ads on YouTube and you watch our videos, we do get money from that. So thank you for watching the videos, and that's a good question. Let's see. Jenny, who's your favorite person to cruise with?
Tony.
You failed the test. You had one job, Jenny.
Of course it's you.
All I'm saying is the longest cruise I've ever been on was with Don and not you.
All right, so then
maybe
our favorite shipmates is Don.
I'm just kidding. MSC will match your loyalty status up to a point. That's a very nice way that they do to get you to try MSC. I think they max out at like their black level. I think that's what it is. Jenny, do you know? No. But yeah, there is a match there. Emma over in the UK, our friend Emma, friend of both Don and ours, going on the Sky Princess the fourth quarter. Yes, that would be nice.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw Emma's little post on her channel.
All right. What have we learned here? We learned
that we love Don.
We love Don. Don's having
we love the locafam.
Don's having a big celebration. Yeah, so this is like, Jenny always makes me look better. Thanks, George. That's true. Look, I'm no dummy here. I know what I'm doing. So we're almost at the top of the hour. Really enjoy this time slot. Really enjoy everybody that's, of course, here in the U.S. and then international. We love connecting with you guys. I see so many different names out there that I don't always see on Tuesday night. And so we appreciate that. We appreciate you, Don, coming on today. We're looking forward to your live stream on Saturday at 8 p.m. on Don's channel. Don's first live stream ever. You got to be there. You got to go check that out.
Tune in. It'll be a complete train wreck.
That's right. So we said iterative learning, man. You got to have the first live stream so that you can have this 200th live stream. So, it's going to be
both
awesome.
feet.
All right, guys. That's it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you, Don, for spending some time with us, and we sure do appreciate you. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
Wait, let's let Don say goodbye first. Don, the floor is yours to say goodbye if you'd like.
You always put me under pressure like this.
That's right.
What all I'm going to say is, hope everyone out there is having a fantastic day.
That's right. Thank you guys so much. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are Lido Loca. And until the next time,
We'll see you on the Lido.
we'll see you on the Lido.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Now we're going to wave because I don't have a legit outro.
I like this wave though.
And so now I have to wait until on YouTube all of us disappear and I see myself waving. Don, you can say random stuff because your mic's still on if you like. Or
I
you
know.
just
I know.
You
it
just
is.
waved.
I'm
your
reading.
sign
I'm
off.
reading the comments that are still
Okay.
going by.
I'm waving. Here we go. End the stream. End.